Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on Valentine's Day. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Well, happy Valentine's Day to you.
I have got a really fun guest. Actually, not one, not two, not three, but four guests that we're going to be talking to today. And you guys probably recognize the name Barbara Corcoran, especially if you're a fan of the TV show Shark Tank. She's one of our guests today. But also her friend Gail, and then also the young lady that donated her kidney, Julie, and then the people that helped make it all happen, the Flood Sisters Kidney Foundation.
This is such a cool story.
It is. In addition to our guests being on our regular segment where we have guests every day, we also are going to have them as our good news today. So it's going to be on even more than normal. So when everybody else is talking about hearts today, we're talking about kidneys. But it's such a story of love. I just think it is such a cool story. I've got a quote for you today as well. Aziz Ansari says, "When I bet on horses, I never lose. Why? I bet on all the horses." That's a fun quote. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on Valentine's Day.
John and Heidi.
There are monthly subscriptions for razors and coffee and many other things, but this is the best monthly subscription ever. Ladies, listen up. Odiva has a monthly subscription for your monthly visitor. You know it's going to happen every month, and how many times have you been caught off guard? Odiva will send you a box discreetly each month with the products you want, with plans starting at less than $4 a month. Get a special offer right now at radiosavings.com, helping women prepare for their monthly visitor for less. Try it now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, February the 14th. It's Valentine's Day. We already knew that. But it's also National Organ Donor Day. So today's a great day for the guests we're going to be chatting about. We're going to be talking about kidneys later in the program. It's also National Ferris Wheel Day. I love the Ferris wheel. Do you like the Ferris wheel? You don't like the
I like the Ferris
ones
wheel.
that like spin around, though. You like just the
Right.
one where you're sitting.
I like the Ferris wheel and I like roller coasters, but I don't like to spin in
Anything that
circles
spins,
at
yeah.
all.
And National Cream-Filled Chocolates Day.
I am so sorry.
My wife left her phone on. National Heidi Left Her Phone On Day. I should probably check
Every
mine.
day is Heidi left her phone on.
I should
day.
check mine now when I'm getting all high and mighty about it. National Cream-Filled Chocolate Day. So this is a day a lot of people give chocolates to their sweetheart. And they're in a heart-shaped box. We're going to be talking about kidneys today, like I said earlier, instead of hearts, because we've got an awesome interview on this National Organ Donors Day. It's all coming up. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Sadly, more than 350 million people suffer from depression. Scientifically, your actual brain chemistry levels are affected. Now, a breakthrough safe and natural non-prescription coffee product has been shown to help. It elevates levels of dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins in the brain, which make you happier just by drinking this special cup of coffee. Many report elevated mood, feeling more connected, having greater energy, clarity, and focus. Try it for yourself at firstcupisfree.com. Get a free sample at firstcupisfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs, but first, this is a bizarre story here. Sheriff's deputies in Alabama raided a mobile home and arrested a guy on marijuana possession charges. The man was discovered rolling joints with pages from his Bible.
Oh, wow.
Deputies say the man said, "I guess God got you all to get me."
Wow.
It's like, hey, quit taking pages out of my book. Okay, I'm sending somebody for you. I don't understand that. So usually you would not typically put those two things together, you know, someone that's doing that and someone that's reading that book, but maybe he wasn't reading it.
I don't think he was reading it. He probably got it for free,
that
and
could
the
be.
pages are nice and thin. It
would've
probably
been-
actually works.
Think about how cool it would be if he would have been reading that and would have become a Christian because of that. That would have been a cool story. That's not the story. But sure would have been a cool story.
Wow.
All right, we've got your brain on drugs coming right up.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is Your Brain on Drugs. Todd Patton, age 36, he's a drunk driver from Louisiana, stopped officers in the middle of his sobriety test to say, "Hey, I'm going to jail anyway."
Let's not play these games.
We're done. This is sad. He was pulled over for driving the wrong way on a one-way street.
Oh.
He performed so poorly on a field sobriety test that he just gave up halfway through and said, "Hey, I'm going to jail anyway. Just take me." They said the blood alcohol content was 5 times the legal limit.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really bad. 0.419, not 0.04, 0.419. So he was arrested on a lot of charges, but yeah, that's a bad idea. Don't do that. And
No, don't do that.
if you need help, we constantly on our Facebook page, we're always pushing out information on numbers you can call if you need help with this kind of thing. If you need that, seek help and maybe not, be in the news with us here. Coming up, we've got a lot of fun stuff on this Valentine's Day. It's also National Organ Donors Day. We've got a great guest coming up. We're going to be chatting about that in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen. From the big screen, 50 Shades of Freed. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
50 Shades Freed? F-R-E-E-D? I don't know.
That would be Freed, yes.
Is that what,
but
is that
I
what the
don't
movie's
know.
called?
Apparently.
I don't know. I haven't been paying attention. They earned $38.8 million over the weekend, $98 million globally, pushing the entire 50 trilogy now past $1 billion worldwide.
Wow.
First 2 movies made a combined $952 million worldwide. So if I'm reading between the lines here, but I think they're doing okay, is what they're trying to say.
They're doing all right.
That,
they did very well with the books.
That's smut.
I think they did better with the books than the movies even.
Oh, boy. Now, that was our big screen. Speaking of big screen, little screen, from the little screen, Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank is going to be our guest coming up in a moment. It's a great story. It's an awesome story. We have all of that on the way. Big screen, little screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
You can have a debt-free education. I know that sounds crazy, but let me save you time, energy, and most importantly, your hard-earned money. My name is Matthew Einstone, and I learned to go through my undergraduate and graduate degree without student loans. Not only am I a living example, but I have 10 years of proven results, not guesswork. So take my first course for free that walks you through my journey and what you can do starting today by going to learnwithoutloans.com. That's learnwithoutloans.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, your scoop of the day, brought to you by Wink Frozen Desserts. More info online at radiosavings.com. The CDC warns that it does not yet appear the flu bug has peaked, or the flu has peaked. What is it going to take for it to peak? Because it's gotten bad.
It's been bad,
but they think maybe it's going to get worse. I wonder if the CDC, if it's like, well, it hasn't peaked because nobody in my family's got sick yet. We wait till that happens, then we say it's peaked. I don't know how they exactly figure that out. For those of you watching the Olympics, I'm not, but I know there are people that are. There was something familiar about the U.S. curler by the name of Matt Hamilton. Have you seen this online?
No.
It's actually kind of cool. His red shirt and his red hat with a circular logo in the middle and his mustache. People say he looks an awful lot like Mario from Super Mario Brothers.
Oh, funny.
So I'll show Heidi the photo. If you'd like to see it, I've got it on our Facebook page as well. Look at that. It does. The one on the right is actually Mario. But the guy, he's got the mustache. He's got the hat with a little circle in it. I can see that. Absolutely. So I've got a link on our social media if you want to check that out. Hey, a study by the Journal of Applied Psychology. That's a whole different thing, isn't it? I read it quick. Too quick, probably. So, study by the Journal of Applied Psychology found that Facebook and Candy Crush are costing employers over $100 billion a year in lost productivity.
Candy Crush is nasty.
Heidi is addicted to that.
How
many times have you taken that off your phone?
Many.
Is it back on your phone?
It is not. But when it is, I just cannot control myself.
How many levels are you on right now?
Like 2,300 or something.
There are like 6 guys working at Candy Crush 24 hours a day trying to keep up with Heidi and 7 other people that are up to that level. Like, oh no, Heidi Small is almost past this one.
Just can't handle. I am not responsible enough to handle having it on my phone.
Somebody quick.
So I had to take it off again.
Oh, it's off now? That's good.
It's
That's
off.
very good. Think about this though. They just talk about how much productivity was lost because of those things. Think about how much money it has saved companies. Because if you're poking people on Facebook, you're not poking ladies in real life and getting sued for it. So I'm just thinking, this could actually be a benefit for them too. Well, that's the other stuff that's in the news. I'm just connecting this. A Danish study found that people who frequently suffer migraines are pretty much a lot more likely to have heart attacks than people who don't. So I wonder why that is.
I don't get migraines.
Good
Got
for
one
you.
thing going for me.
I get migraines.
My blood pressure, on the other hand,
Feel my ticker.
might cause a heart attack.
Yeah. NYPD is looking for a series of teens who attacked a homeless man on the New York City subways. That's really sad. The same guy kept getting attacked over and over and over. That's not good. The state of Georgia is considering the idea of building a toll-free highway that's just for trucks. Good news for truckers. Not good news for other people who wanted to go that direction. Now you can carpool. You know, like they have people in the carpool lane where they have dummies in there. So you think there'll be people that'll be driving a Prius that's like got cardboard boxes strapped to the back so it looks like a truck?
Why would they need that?
Because they're...
Are they not
they're
handling the regular roads?
No,
well?
I think they're just saying, hey, let's clear traffic off of these roads. It's not a bad idea. And one last story. A group of inmates from Rikers Island were caught on camera beating up a prison guard. Did you see that?
No.
Sad news. That's really sad news. That's not good. You guys, you're going to get in trouble and you're getting up at prison. Oh, wait a minute. You're already in prison. Don't worry,
You'll stay there longer.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, coming up, we've got a story that is such a great story on Valentine's Day and also National Organ Donors Day. We've got the coolest story ever. It involves Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank and her friend Gail, and then Julie, who's the lady who actually gave her kidney, and then we're going to be visiting with Jennifer as well from the Flood Sisters Kidney Foundation. All of that on the way on this Valentine's Day.
John and Heidi.
There are monthly subscriptions for razors and coffee and many other things, but this is the best monthly subscription ever. Ladies, listen up. Odiva has a monthly subscription for your monthly visitor. You know it's going to happen every month, and how many times have you been caught off guard? Odiva will send you a box discreetly each month with the products you want, with plans starting at less than $4 a month. Get a special offer right now at radiosavings.com, helping women prepare for their monthly visitor for less. Try it now at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on Valentine's Day. We've got a special guest. Actually, I've got quite a few special guests today. We're going to start with Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank. She's got a good friend, Gail, that needed a kidney, and Barbara stepped up and helped make it happen. Barbara, that's got to be a really good feeling to be able to help a friend like that.
Oh, my gosh. We all thought it might be a possibility that we would actually get a live donor. You should be hopeful in anything you aspire to, but on the other hand, none of us wanted to get our excitement up because we didn't want to come crushing down. So it was a lot of a mixed emotion.
And now, how long had you known Gail?
Oh, gosh, I guess close to 15 years. I mean, I have a hard time remembering my life before Gail was in it. Just to watch her go through the health issues that she was wrestling with, it was just really, really hard.
Speaking of Gail, we have her on the line right now. Gail, what does that feel like to know you've got an awesome friend like Barbara that stepped up to help out?
It's unbelievable. I worked for Barbara for 12 years as her executive assistant, and she came up with the idea to do the video after we joined the Flood Sisters, and it was just amazing. So, I mean, we didn't know what was going to be the outcome, but she has millions of followers. So when we did it, we got 100 responses of people who were interested to be tested.
That is so cool. Now, one of those responses is a young lady named Julie. We're going to be talking to Julie in just a little bit, but what do you have to say to Julie and to the other people like Julie who step up and help people, many times people they don't even know?
Julie is the most positive person I've ever met in my entire life. She is my angel from heaven, as is Barbara. It's just, there are no words how to thank someone for the gift of life. She's now a member of my family. I told her she's coming to every holiday. She's just amazing. And for her to do this to a stranger is just beyond comprehension. It's wonderful.
In addition to Valentine's Day, it's also National Organ Donor Day. And I know the organ most people are talking about today is the heart, but we're talking about kidneys because this story is all about how Julie stepped up and gave a kidney to Gail. Gail is who we just talked to, and Gail is a friend of Barbara Corcoran, who we've already talked to. We're going to be talking to Julie here in just a little bit, but before we do that, we're going to be visiting with Jennifer. Here's where Jennifer comes into the picture. Jennifer is with an organization called the Flood Sisters Kidney Foundation. Now, Jennifer, how did this organization get started? I'm told that there's a personal connection, right?
Yes. So in 2008, our father was told that he would need a transplant within 6 months or he would have to go on dialysis. And, of course, all of us got tested. There's 3 sisters. We all got tested. We weren't a match. We had used Craigslist, of all places, for selling our jewelry, for finding childcare, for finding jobs, for selling items, and it was a success for everything else. And we had said, you know what, let's put an ad in the volunteer section of Craigslist and see what happens. Just a shot in the dark idea. And sure enough, a girl from high school had saw the ad. She was selling her car. She ended up working for News Radio, the radio station, as a journalist. Put us on radio. It went viral. All the stations picked up the story, and end results, over thousands of people responded to my dad's ad. And a perfect match was found from a complete stranger, a woman from California who saved our father's life in 2009 and donated her kidney.
That's really such a great story. And then where it goes from there, I think, is even better, because what you had done for your father, when that was done, you guys could have been done. You could have said, well, Dad's got his kidney, we're all good to go. But where did it go from there?
So we had all these donors from, the news and everyone responding to the ad. We were screening all these people from all over, nationwide. And we said, this isn't right. Everything we went through, the emotional roller coaster ride of finding a donor, getting it accepted by a hospital, our father waiting desperately. We said, now let's help other people. There's got to be a way to, end the wait for others and get them off dialysis. So we came up with the idea to start a nonprofit, and that's the Flood Sisters Kidney Foundation. And today we have done, just 2 weeks ago, our 11th transplant, which was Gail Abramson, former assistant and close friend of Barbara Corcoran.
That is such a cool story. And again, I know on Valentine's Day, most people are talking about hearts today, but we're talking about love, and we're talking about kidneys. And this is such a cool story, because when you think about the story, your father's story, when you think about the story of Gail, Barb's friend, it's all about, people who love each other saying, hey, what can we do to help? Now, if there's somebody listening that maybe has never even considered donating their kidney before, but they're hearing this going, wow, I've got 2 of them, and I'd love to be able to help. How do they go about getting a hold of you to find out if they're a match for somebody?
Our website is Flood Sisters Kidney, FND.org.
And the FND is for like foundation. I've got a link to that on our social media to make that easy as well. Are there quite a few people that are on the site right now that are looking? Are there quite a few people, like, do you guys have more people that have kidneys to give, or more people that have kidneys that are in need?
Unfortunately, there's always more people in need, so we're always looking for donors. We do have 5 patients right now that are looking, from all ages. They range from the age of 27 all the way to 72. So we're always actively trying to advocate for living donation and donors that wish to help someone in need.
Well, thank you so much for doing what you're doing, and we appreciate this so much. And again, thank you for taking the time to chat with us on Valentine's Day.
Absolutely. I wanted to mention one more thing. It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, what's up?
We actually transplanted 2 years ago Bon Jovi's very close friend and father figure. So John had always promised, I'd love to be involved in the organization and give back. And so we are having a huge fundraiser, a music concert, Sunday, March 4th, and John will be performing here in Westchester County, Tarrytown, New York.
Well, that's such a cool thing. And when people, here's what a lot of people hear, these big names like Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank, and they hear, John Bon Jovi, and these people that, are friends that have needs. But think about how many people that you don't know their name, but they need help as well. And think about these donors that are stepping up to help. And up until this story, we didn't know who Julie was, but Julie stepped up and said, hey, I've got a kidney. And Julie gave her kidney to Gail, Barb's friend. And you get to be a hero as well by saying, hey, you know what? I want to help. I want to see if I can help. And it's just such a great opportunity to do that. So thank you for giving people the opportunity to bless somebody else by being a donor.
Thank you.
Now, like I said, we're going to get a chance to visit with Julie as well. Now, Julie is the young lady that actually stepped up and said, hey, I've got a kidney. I'm going to give that to Gail. We're going to actually visit with Julie at the very end of the program. We always end our show with good news, and she is the good news today, because we get to chat with Julie and learn a little more about her and just kind of finish this story. But before we wrap up, I want to reach back out to Barbara. Again, Barbara is one of the stars of the TV show Shark Tank, one of my favorite shows, by the way, and she's one of my favorite sharks. And she's the reason that this particular story has all come together, because she went on social media and said, hey, can you guys help out? Julie responded through that social media. Gail got a kidney. Barbara, what would you say to other people who are inspired by this story and think, maybe I could step up and I could give my kidney to somebody? What would you say to them?
I would say that it's greatly overrated how difficult it is to give your kidney away. What was shocking to me is I saw Julie the morning after the surgery in the hospital, and lucky I showed up early because she was walking out the door with her kids in hand as though she had never had surgery. I somehow in my own mind, not that I ever asked the question, I pictured I on a table for hours, sliced open, all this dramatic stuff. Like, who would do that? It was a surgery, so it was a pinhole, basically, and she got up out of her bed the very next morning and walked out the door. And, of course, the success rate in a live donor kidney is 97%, and whereas if someone has donated a kidney, a dead kidney, I don't know there's a better name for it, I forget what you call it, but the success rate is only 50%. So that's a huge difference between deceased donor kidneys and live donor kidneys. And so I think people think enough people are giving away their kidneys when they die, but even if they were, which isn't true, the live donor kidney is much more successful. And still, even with deceased donor kidneys, there's a long, long waiting. So many more people who need them than are able to get them.
Well, Barbara, thank you so much for taking the time to chat today, and thank you for doing what you did to help Gail and to also kind of get the word out.
That's the easy part. Julie did the hard work. She actually gave her kidney.
And how cool is that?
And what a vote of confidence in the pure goodness of human beings, which we need to hear more and more of, I think. So that to me was the lifelong lesson there, the goodness of people. Remarkable how generous she is.
Barbara, thank you so much, and I'm going to connect with you again for an interview all about Shark Tank, all right?
My pleasure. Nice chatting with you.
Again, our guests have been Barbara and Gail and Jennifer, and we do have an interview with Julie coming up at the end of the program. That's our good news today, because she's the good news part of this story. That's all on the way. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. More information on how you can become a donor, or if you know someone that needs a kidney, all of the information, we've got a link to it at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Many people think they cannot enjoy something delicious if you're watching your calories. But with Wink frozen desserts, you can. There's only 100 calories per pint. And listen to this, it's sugar-free, dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, nut-free, and egg-free. Good thing it's not taste-free, but it is fully vegan-friendly. Wink was designed by a family that struggles with celiac disease, so they had to change their diet. But many people are choosing to eat better, and Wink frozen desserts could be an amazing choice for you. Find Wink frozen desserts at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
This is so stupid. In September of 2007, a guy by the name of Kevin Shelley broke 46 wooden toilet seats over his head in 1 minute to create a world record. Kevin, I'm all for being in the record book myself. I think it'd be cool. But I'm not going to do that.
Ridiculous.
So you don't have to worry about me going out and buying 47 wooden toilet seats. I think I can beat him. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Samuel Jackson has a clause in his contract that allows him to play golf during film shooting whenever he wants to. So if he's filming a movie and he feels like going out for a round of golf, he's like, okay, we're wrapping things up. I'm going to go take in 18.
Huh.
It's interesting. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In 1945, the first atomic bomb was created, and guess what its nickname was?
What?
The Gadget.
Oh.
Go Gadget Bomb. So there you go. A couple of fun facts right here, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
Sadly, more than 350 million people suffer from depression. Scientifically, your actual brain chemistry levels are affected. Now, a breakthrough safe and natural non-prescription coffee product has been shown to help. It elevates levels of dopamine, serotonin, and endorphins in the brain, which make you happier just by drinking this special cup of coffee. Many report elevated mood, feeling more connected, having greater energy, clarity, and focus. Try it for yourself at firstcupisfree.com. Get a free sample at firstcupisfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Time now for the grandiloquent word of the day, and today the word is grinagog. 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 You think you know what grinagog is, Heidi?
I honestly have no clue.
Rhymes with synagogue, but has nothing to do with that. It's a noun. It is a person who is perpetually grinning. So someone that's just always happy.
Oh.
A grinagog. I don't know why.
That sounds grumpy to me. It doesn't
does.
sound happy. It sounds like
Yeah.
a very angry word.
He's a very grinagog man. He is? Why not just say he's a happy dude?
Right.
Grinagog does sound not as nice as you'd
Right,
think it
doesn't
would
sound very
for something
cheerful
like
at
that.
all.
Says in a sentence, he'd have a great career in customer service. He's such a grinagog. Okay. I'm going to quit using those sentences. Big thank you, by the way, to the people at Grandiloquent Word of the Day. I don't come up with these myself. I'm sure that shocks everyone. Sound like
They're
a
not
wealth.
part of your regular vocabulary.
No. But there's someone
a
who does,
shocker.
and they have a Facebook page, and we throw a link to it every day, and they exceeded 250,000 likes. You're welcome, Grandiloquent. I think we were 2 of those. Anyway, I do throw a link every single day, so if you want to see those on our Facebook page, you can. This has been your Grandiloquent Word of the Day.
John and Heidi.
You can have a debt-free education. I know that sounds crazy, but let me save you time, energy, and most importantly, your hard-earned money. My name is Matthew Einstone, and I learned to go through my undergraduate and graduate degree without student loans. Not only am I a living example, but I have 10 years of proven results, not guesswork. So take my first course for free that walks you through my journey and what you can do starting today by going to learnwithoutloans.com. That's learnwithoutloans.com.
John and Heidi.
Now, some weird news, and it's brought to you by firstcupisfree.com. This is such a weird story. A Flamin' Hot Cheetos loving mama who enjoyed that snack quite a bit, 320 family-sized bags during her pregnancy,
Whoa!
has joked that the spicy snack could be the reason her son was born with bright red hair. Amelia Jackson said she went through at least 8 family bags of Flamin' Hot Cheetos per week
Oh my gosh!
to satisfy her cravings. The mother of 2 got the shock of her life when her son, who's now 4 months old, was born with red hair, despite both her and her partner having darker colored hair. So she's saying, I think it was the Cheetos. And he's saying, I think you're a Cheeto. Maybe not.
No.
I think there should be a DNA
Nice
test
try.
to see if Chester Cheetah is the father of that kid. I don't exactly know.
I'm surprised that kid's even healthy. That's
Well,
a lot
that
of
is-
chips.
That is a lot of chips. I've never had a Flamin' Hot Cheeto. Our daughter did a Flamin' Hot Cheeto viral video challenge or whatever.
thing.
So I smelled one. I was like, no
No,
thanks.
thank you.
If you're a big fan, I apologize. That's just not my thing. Anyway, I've got a link to that story on our Facebook page. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Wendy Sue Crocker, age 48, was arrested after she got into a fight with her boyfriend and then tried to steal the bedding from the hotel room for some bizarre reason. I don't understand why you would do that. Hotel staff said that she screamed at resort staff and threw plants off the balcony, narrowly missing an employee, and then resisted being handcuffed when she was, I don't understand why she was doing this. She began to remove the bedding owned by the resort and stuffing it into her vehicle. A deputy,
It must have been really nice bedding.
apparently, deputy stopped her and then cuffed her and then took her off to jail. She's facing charges of resisting arrest without violence and breach of peace. So-
Resisting without violence. That
Yeah.
sounds pretty violent to me. If she's
Well,
throwing plants at people.
She
and-
narrowly missed them. They're like, that's not really violence. I usually get hit by 1 or 2.
Wow.
I don't understand how that. It says she resisted being handcuffed, but then they said, oh, that's the resisting arrest part, probably. Okay. All I know is that's a bizarre story. I just wonder why
what
she
he
wanted
did.
those. Yeah, I don't know. And I wonder why she wanted those sheets so bad.
Must have been nice sheets.
Must either that or maybe there's some DNA on there. She
Yeah,
was
that
taking
she was wanted
take it
for
back
evidence.
Gonna get this tested by the crime lab. Good news. We're taking you there anyway. All right. This has been your moment of duh, brought to you by learnwithoutloans.com. We've got some good news coming your way, and we already talked to them a bit ago. Today is National Organ Donor Day, and we've got our good news in person rather than just us reading about it. It's on the way.
John and Heidi.
Many people think they cannot enjoy something delicious if you're watching your calories. But with Wink Frozen Desserts, you can. There's only 100 calories per pint. And listen to this. It's sugar-free, dairy-free, soy-free, gluten-free, nut-free, and egg-free. Good thing it's not taste-free, but it is fully vegan-friendly. Wink was designed by a family that struggles with celiac disease, so they had to change their diet. But many people are choosing to eat better, and Wink Frozen Desserts could be an amazing choice for you. Find Wink Frozen Desserts at radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your good news. I'm super excited about this. I don't know if you
I
can
know
tell.
you are.
I've
I
mentioned
can
it like
tell.
6 times, but we've got a really cool story that we've been talking about all day today. When everybody else is talking about hearts, we are talking about kidneys. And we've got Jennifer from the Flood Sisters Kidney Foundation. We're going to be chatting with her in a moment here, and also Julie, who is the recipient of a kidney. We had this story earlier in the program, but our good news is coming up, and that's who our guests will be during the good news. Thanks for listening to The John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news, Heidi. Good news brought to you by Odiva, the monthly subscription for Ladies Monthly Visitor. More information at radiosavings.com. This is such a cool story. You usually send me the good news.
I do. I know. This one I had nothing to do with this
No,
one.
this was actually sent to me, and it's such a cool story. We're going to pick up where we left off. We talked with Barbara Corcoran earlier, and we were talking about her friend Gail, who received the kidney, and now we're going to actually visit with Julie, the lady who actually donated the kidney. Julie, that is such a cool thing that you did that. What was it that made you decide to do this?
I think, after watching the video that they posted online and seeing Gail with, a family just like me, I have a mom her age, she has grandchildren, she deserves life just as much as any one of us.
Well, it's really cool that you did that, Julie. Now, what kind of advice do you give to other people who maybe right now they're listening and thinking, maybe I should do that? What is the feeling for you knowing that you helped save somebody's life and you gave a little piece of yourself to help? What is that feeling like? And do you encourage other people to do this, to have that same feeling?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think people, they just get caught up in life, get too busy, and I think people aren't aware of really how easy it was. Complications are less than 1% for kidney donation, and just it's been an amazing blessing for me in my life, just as much as it has been for Gail. So as much as Gail thanks me every single day, I'm thanking her as well, because it's such an amazing feeling to do that for somebody. We were on the Rachel Ray show a week later after surgery. It's so easy. There's just no words what it feels like to do that for somebody and what it does for you. It kind of puts your life in perspective, makes you not take things for granted.
With today being Valentine's Day, everybody else is talking about hearts. The reason that we're talking about kidneys is because this story is so filled with love. I mean, the fact that you did this is just such an amazing thing. So thank you for doing it, and thanks for taking time to visit with us.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
This has been our good news. Heidi, isn't that awesome?
That is awesome.
What a cool story. And for those of you who want to follow along and learn more, we've got links to all of this on our Facebook page as well, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on Valentine's Day.
Time now for a bonus break on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show on Valentine's Day. We have Carly Glarum, and she is joining us right now from Cucina Antica. How you doing, Carly?
Hi, John. Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, we're excited to have you on the program on Valentine's Day. And, this is a big day. A lot of people know. Some of the holidays we talk about here, they don't know so much about, but everybody knows about Valentine's Day. But one of the things that's really kind of a neat thing is you kind of have a little bit of the history of Valentine's Day, don't you?
I do, yes. Valentine's Day, that's something that, all of us, we've been celebrating since we were kids. But Valentine's Day goes back much further than that. Some of the origins of Valentine's Day, it's always been celebrated in the middle of February, and the holiday was created to commemorate the anniversary of St. Valentine's death.
So it's not his birthday. This was the day that he passed away.
Yes.
And St. Valentine, if you look back at history, he was a pretty cool guy that did some neat stuff, didn't he?
Yeah, he was one of the stories that, when I was researching this, that I found, he was a priest that married young couples. back in the Roman traditions.
Well, that's really cool. Now, a lot of folks, when they're thinking about Valentine's, sometimes you do flowers or sometimes you do chocolates, but something else you could do, guys, listen up. I'm talking to you. You could also cook a nice meal. If you haven't already made dinner plans for tonight, chances are you're not going to get a reservation somewhere. But the cool thing is, you could have a reservation right at your own home, and Cucina Antica can help make that a whole lot easier, can't you?
Yes, of course. If you use our sauce, you're already halfway there. You can go the classic route with the homemade spaghetti dinner and meatballs. If you want to get a little bit fancier, maybe some lobster or a nice piece of fish with our sauce. You're going to do great with that.
And Cucina Antica, you guys are where's your company based?
We're out of New York.
And the nice thing is, we don't have to go all the way to New York to get it. You have it all over the place, don't you?
Yes, you can find our products nationally at Whole Foods Market. We're also at Target. And then you can go on to Amazon, and we have different mix and match packaging options on there. So if you want to try a couple of our different flavors, we got you handled there.
That's nice. And for those of you that are sitting here right now going, oh, wait, today's Valentine's Day? If you want to make an impact, guys, I'm not kidding. If you want to make a huge impact, instead of taking your sweetheart out for dinner tonight, make them dinner and let them know how much they mean to you. And one of the great easy ways to do that with Cucina Antica, if you can twist the jar and open the lid, you're almost done. I mean, it's really, really, really simple. And you guys have got a lot of different varieties of things. But what would you say is one of the most popular items that you sell at Cucina Antica?
Our most popular flavor is going to be our tomato basil flavor. That's going to give you a little bit of sweetness from that basil, and that just pairs well with anything from pasta to meat to fish to vegetables, even as a soup you can do. It's just a great sauce for anything you want to make. So
just imagine if you have never cooked dinner for your wife before, guys. And imagine if tonight, you said, hey, I got it covered, and you can get some noodles, you throw those in water and turn up the heat and boil them. That's pretty simple. You want to drain the water out of it too, so make sure you do that. But some noodles and a little bit of sauce, and you don't have to mix up the sauce because they already did it for you at Cucina Antica, and Carly and the crew there made it really, really simple. You open the jar, might want to heat it up a little bit. If you want to add some meat to it, you can do that. And then maybe get a bottle of wine if your wife likes that. And you just made a romantic dinner, and you just made somebody really, really happy, and it was pretty darn simple, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you can even just toss that jar in the trash. She'll never know.
Yeah, don't keep secrets, though. That's not a good way to. No, but they always say it's the thought that counts, and this is so easy. It is such a simple thing that, again, if you don't already have dinner reservations for tonight, you're not getting them anyway. So make sure you do something awesome, and this would be a really simple way to do it. Carly, thank you so much for taking time to chat with us. I'm glad you guys reached out because this is a great idea for tonight. I think it's a cool idea to make sure that we cook something nice for our sweeties.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me.
And if we would like to find you, again, you said you're at Target stores. We don't have Whole Foods here, but the folks that have a Whole Foods, they can find them there. And then you also have it on Amazon as well. What is your website if I want to go right to the source?
If you go to cucina-antica.com, we have our store locator on there, recipes, all the information about our products on there.
Well, we've talked to Chef Neil from Cucina Antica many times. He's such a fun guy. He's such a he's very animated. When he's talking, I can he's just a cool
passionate.
guy.
He's passionate.
Absolutely
he's
passionate. And I think it's really cool now that we had a chance to meet you as well. So, Carly, thank you for being a part of the team and reaching out to us here.
Thank you again.
Again, Carly is with Cucina Antica. You can find it locally here at Target. If you live in a place where they have a Whole Foods, they've got them in Whole Foods as well. And, of course, everywhere at Amazon. I've got a link to it all at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.